The police have officially raided Jack Doherty's house. We are talking about real law enforcement officers surrounding his property, questioning him through his own security system while he casually lounges away on a yacht. What you're about to watch is a breakdown of how this all unfolded.
Police at my house! Why are the police at my house?
Hey, Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah, do you ever? What happened?
Did you work the Tesla on FAU campus on Saturday?
Yeah, I was on campus. Why?
Hey, are you inside your house or no?
Why? What's happening? They're here on the boat!
Why it's more serious than most people realize, and how Jack's shady behavior has now brought the full force of the law right to his doorstep. Before we dive deep, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because what's coming next in Jack's story is only getting darker. Stick with me till the very end, because I'll show you the moment that made even Jack's closest followers question whether this time he's finally gone too far. What unfolded was real law enforcement, flashing lights, officers at his gates, and an entire situation that played out live through security cameras and microphones while Jack was nowhere to be found. From the very beginning, the tone of the encounter was bizarre. Jack's first reaction was confusion. Why are the police at my house? But instead of that confusion evolving into panic like you'd expect from any regular person suddenly confronted by police, it morphed into a kind of careless amusement. While the officers stood outside his property, trying to confirm whether he was home, Jack casually communicated with them remotely, not from a hiding spot nearby, but from a yacht out on the water. It was as if he didn't take the raid seriously at all. But behind those few seconds of interaction was a far bigger storm brewing. This was not a random house visit. Law enforcement didn't accidentally show up at Jack Doherty's front door. They were there for a reason. According to the unfolding investigation, police were actively searching for Jack because of an incident connected to Florida Atlantic University, FAU. They were trying to locate him, confirm his whereabouts on a specific day, and potentially bring him in for questioning. And that alone marked a turning point in Jack's story. This was no longer just influencer drama. It was a real investigation, and Jack was right in the middle of it. To truly understand the weight of this raid, you need to remember that Jack Doherty has been under intense scrutiny long before the police ever arrived. Just days before the raid, Child Protective Services, CPS, raided him as part of a separate investigation that already sent shockwaves through his community. Jack had built his entire brand on wild behavior, flexing wealth, throwing parties, and building a controversial business empire around his OnlyFans agency. But now, government agencies were getting involved. CPS doesn't show up for gossip. Police don't show up for clout. Both agencies had reasons to investigate him, and the timing of these two raids happening back-to-back is no coincidence. It shows a pattern of escalating scrutiny from multiple authorities. Rumors have been swirling for weeks that Jack's agency may have targeted young girls looking for fame, possibly under questionable circumstances. People online started calling him Jack Epstein, accusing him of running a manipulative pipeline where he recruits naive young women, moves them into his circle, showers them with promises, and then monetizes them through his online empire while taking a percentage of their earnings. And while Jack always brushed these accusations off with arrogance, this time the presence of actual police officers at his home was a clear sign that the stakes had changed. It wasn't just the internet talking anymore. The authorities were actively looking for him. The key event that pushed this into the spotlight was the Florida Atlantic University incident. The police on the scene were asking Jack about his presence on the FAU campus on a specific date. They needed to know whether he had been there on Saturday. Jack initially danced around the questions, then admitted, "Yeah, I was on campus." But instead of treating the conversation seriously, he made a joke. When asked if he pulled out, he responded with, "I always pull out," turning the exchange with law enforcement into a sexually suggestive punchline. That kind of response is not just immature, it's dangerous. It shows a total lack of respect for the gravity of the situation. Imagine the police trying to question someone about a potential criminal investigation and that person responding like they're cracking jokes on a live stream. It's reckless behavior, but it's also classic Jack Doherty. Throughout his rise to fame, he's been known for treating serious situations like they're content opportunities. He thrives on trolling authority, sneaking into places, and pushing boundaries. But this time, the boundary isn't a nightclub or a YouTube prank. It's law enforcement. And unlike internet trolls, the police don't play games. What made this entire moment even more surreal was Jack's attitude during the raid itself. While the officers were standing outside his house, he was hundreds of feet away, sailing and partying on a yacht. You'd expect someone being sought by the police to rush home, call a lawyer, or at least show some kind of concern. Jack did none of that. Instead, he talked to the officers through his cameras like they were unexpected guests. At one point, They asked him if he was home. He said no. They asked if they could speak with him. He literally told them to come tomorrow. Think about that for a second. Police are outside his home looking for him, and he tells them to reschedule like it's a business meeting. This level of arrogance is shocking, and it demonstrates exactly how Jack sees himself. As someone untouchable, someone who can dictate the terms to law enforcement the same way he dictates to his fans online. For any regular citizen, refusing to cooperate like that could lead to escalation. But Jack acted like it was just another moment to flex his independence. His disregard wasn't subtle either. Right after the call with the police, he turned back to his entourage and laughed, making it clear that he didn't take the situation seriously at all. But while he was laughing, the officers weren't. They weren't there for entertainment. They were there to follow up on an incident that could carry real legal consequences. Jack's behavior after the raid only added fuel to the fire. While the police were at his property, he started mocking the situation on his yacht, making jokes, and even telling people to bring him the 5 hottest girls from FAU if they wanted him to turn himself in. This statement was more than just tasteless humor. It revealed exactly the kind of pattern people have been accusing him of. His agency allegedly relies on recruiting young girls, often from college campuses, promising fame and money, and then monetizing their image online. By publicly making that comment, he wasn't just being inappropriate. He was reinforcing every shady allegation people have whispered about him for months. This is why the raid has hit so hard online. It's not just about the police knocking on his door. It's about what that knock represents. It's the convergence of his personal recklessness, public controversies, and now legal accountability. Jack has always flirted with chaos, but now chaos is flirting back, and it has a badge. At the same time, Jack's personal life was imploding. He had been caught cheating on his girlfriend, Christiana, multiple times, publicly flirting with other women and humiliating her in front of millions of viewers. Their relationship was falling apart, and everyone saw it coming. Clips of his unfaithfulness circulated online, fueling breakup rumors and amplifying the drama. But here's where it connects. Jack's personal implosion isn't happening in isolation. It's happening while government agencies are investigating him, and while police are raiding his house. He's juggling legal trouble, relationship scandals, and online backlash all at once. And instead of slowing down, he's escalating every single one of those problems with his attitude. This isn't just a guy getting canceled online. This is someone potentially walking into real legal jeopardy while live streaming his downfall. By the time the raid footage had spread online, people were divided. Some thought Jack was trolling and untouchable as always. Others saw something different, a man who had finally pushed too far. The raid isn't just about one moment. It's the culmination of months of investigations, rumors, and reckless behavior, and now it's all catching up to him. Law enforcement doesn't show up at your door without a reason. CPS doesn't raid your house without paperwork. FAU doesn't suddenly become part of the story unless something significant happened there. Jack's behavior might make great content, but it's also painting him as someone who's either oblivious to or actively mocking serious investigations. And that's exactly why this moment is so powerful. It's a collision between influencer culture and real-world consequences. This police raid might look like just another Jack Doherty headline, but it's actually something far more serious. It's the moment where jokes, pranks, and live stream antics meet the reality of law enforcement investigations. Jack thinks he can push this off until tomorrow, but the truth is, tomorrow might not wait for him. This story is still unfolding, and from the looks of it, things are only going to get messy. If you've been following Jack's journey, you'll know this is just the beginning of what could turn into a massive legal storm. And that's why you should stay tuned, keep watching, and make sure you're subscribed.